Hey folks, it's Brendan with the labs at eScootNow. Just going to give a bit of a rundown on some of the different mounts and things for e-scooters and mounting stuff on your scooter, etc. And being, was holidays, I guess, there for a bit. We had a bit of time to do a bit of work on a few things. Just show you, say, where your chain lock is. You've got your chain lock on your scooter, which is a little bit hard to mount somewhere, so I've just stuck that one around a key bar. It's got the nice soft rubber handles. The only issue with that is that it does vibrate around a bit, so I just put a rubber band around that. That's one way to secure your chain on a kitty lock. So, but also great for a set of handlebars if you are have someone on board. Probably a bit safer, although probably not legal. And also, throw your groceries on, whatever you need to stack on there, spare battery, all that sort of stuff. They are pretty solid. They do come with pretty crap brackets. These brackets, I'll just put that right on there for you. These brackets can bend a bit. The best way to manage that with them is that you get rid of the crap screws, put some decent screws and some washers behind them. And they look pretty unsightly, the silver ones. So yeah, if you go a kitty bar, there's a longer one. Actually, I need to probably grab one. Kitty bars. So your kitty bar there, that's with the black. So the black looks a lot nicer than the crappy silver ones. And the length on those is a short one, a long one. So typically it's best if you get the right length, a nice button head M5 bolt to the right length, whatever size you need. That's probably, they're a socket head. I wouldn't go a socket head. You want probably, that's a bigger M6. They're the 5s and 6s with the buttons. So yeah, button heads a go. Something like that. Nice and slim and discreet, with a couple of little washers on it. Probably like a nice little flat washer. Bit of PTFE on those so they don't corrode, or WD-40, whatever you have to use for that. And that should keep that sorted. So that's your kitty bars on those. The U-locks have a pretty good mount on them. If you ever go a U-lock, these ones, which are just like a e-took, get them on AliExpress. I'll keep a couple in stock here. Scooter probably have them. That's your U-lock there, and it's got a nice mount on it. It holds pretty well. To stop it vibrating, I just put a bit of cloth tape on the bottom there, because it's only really secured up the top. So that cloth tape does help. The U-lock attached to the stem, and that one I can actually fold that stem on that mount, which is pretty good. So with your cloth tapes, folks, just your sort of that fabric tape you'll get, easy done. All the cloth tapes. You're also wanting to consider using some of your 3M adhesive tape. 1mm or 2mm. I've got a couple of different lengths there and widths and sizes and stuff. That's a semi-adhesive polystyrene type thing, but no, these rubber ones, they are the go, and typically they work really well. U-locks, what else? We're going to look at the bags. So if you look at the mount on the bags, take for example our big 8 litre one. It's huge. If you compare it to, say, a 3 litre one, obviously quite a monster on the stem. But yeah, the quick lock bags are convenient. It's got some, crappy plastic sort of brackets. One for each of your 3 scooters, perhaps. There's 3 in there, and you just basically slide that on there to quick disconnect. Take your valuables with you and move them between your scooters. But again, just a single mount point up there. They can vibrate around a little bit. And, for such reason, then often you'd want to just use your straps. Alright, there's a Carbe branded one. Nice and tall and slim with the contour, see down here for your stem. It sits in, right? And depending on your stem, of course, this is on a pretty fat one, and thin on the other side, so it's going to be a little bit larger than what the bag's intended to carry for. But that's what that is. Tap to show preview. There you go. So yeah, straps at the top and bottom. Some of the straps are longer than others and stuff, but typically I find these straps aren't, you know, it's still not on the money, right? This is the issue. Bags, what else are we doing? The mini bars. Yeah, so obviously the kiddie bar. Put over there, the kiddie bar. A couple of different colours, and what I did with this one is I just actually put this up here, went over onto this one, set kiddie bar on just an eScootNow store, comes up, and you've got a couple of different colours there, and you do the length of your bolts, and then yeah, just wrap a chain around there, whatever your chain is. You can see I can use it, this chain, wrap it around that, whatever, like we have. We have there. There's some other mounts and stuff too on the bottom here. So there's like a little grub bar. That one there, I don't use them. They're a little bar that sticks out. I might have one in here. I can show you. I don't know what type they are. They're type B. So the type E's. There's a B, type B. So that basically just sits. I'll show you this one. That just sits on there and sticks out like a kiddie bar, but not with a whole parallel bar. You can get them actually level, so they don't sit on one side of the stem, they actually sit either side with a bracket. This is just a bracket like that, right? One there, one there. The right length screws, of course, which we just discussed, as opposed to these crappy silver ones. And that's another option as well. You can also use that as because it's a standard 22mm grub, you can use that grub handlebar there just to put lights on and all that sort of stuff as well, if you wanted a little bit more real estate, particularly down low on the scooter. So that's that one. Some of the other mounts for things on the bar itself, because obviously your sort of standard torches, bicycle torches, have got these sort of brackets which tend to move a bit sometimes. There's a phone holder there's that 3M rubber on it. Again, they can move it. I quite like that because I can adjust it, which is good. With the stonker brackets, what's this camera doing? There you go. There's your stonker brackets there with the torch on it. Very strong, straight on the bar, doesn't move. This bar as well. Because like there's a lot going on here, you know, you've got like a horn, you've got all the stock instrumentation, there's a phone holder in the middle which isn't mounted on the pillow, it's actually mounted on this extension bar, not extension, the extra bar, what do we call them? Don't even know what we call them now. Anyway, that sort of, these things, right? So that's the wider one. Yeah, so whatever you call them, that's the wider one there, the 30cm one, or the 20, that's a 20. That 20 there has actually got some indicator stuck on the end of it to turn left and right, to be very visible. But also you're using that to mount stuff because the bar's busy. There's a USB charger there, it's got 2 USB ports on the dashboard which is quick charge. So you've got a bit of local power there with some right angle USB connectors. Which is good. So that's our bar, and again I think you can get them in a couple of different colours. I don't even know if I've even got them in the store here. I've got plenty on the shelf. It might be a bar of some sort of description. Should be some bar here. Yeah, well, that's them there. It's not a good photo. That's them there. With the same photos probably from that make and model. The problem with these is that these brackets here don't really work too well with the size. You know, they say they accommodate 22.5mm bars there, but they don't really. They're really more wanting to work on the 28mm where the pillow is. I've got issues with this, you know, this Fighter Supreme scooters, chevron bars similar to the Carbo Manus bar, and that it is really needing that wider diameter of say 28mm at the pillow in order for these mini bars, that's what we call them, to attach onto here securely. It needs sort of that width, and it tapers out, so you don't really get the opportunity to use these on that bar because it's only 22mm through. Even the top one here, that's the Warrior extended bar, 22mm here. The non-extended Warrior bars you might find in the crossbar here is only about 20 or 18mm. It's even worse. So hence the aftermarket extended from the Carbo factory is there's a CTO on a Wolf Warrior. If you ask for that, they'll supply the scooter with that on it as a bar from the factory. Otherwise you'll get the shorter one, so that's the lengthened one. Warrior bars probably here, there is 750mm. Yeah, so all the details on your handlebars are there. I'm going to put them on this one because I need a little more height, and I need a little more width, and I've only got width on one side of this. I've got a Spirit Beast extender on one side, so that's going to get it up a bit higher, have it a little bit wider, like this one. It's got extenders on both sides, so does the Manus. Lovely, nice and wide. Good rubber grips. Okay, rubber grips so your hands don't slide when you hit a bump of stuff. You're not going to lose your bar and grips out of your hand when you hit an unexpected bump. And they also add a bit more length too, those grips. The grips give you a little bit more width. Zero IPS, which helps stability with the grips. Actually, it should be down the bottom on that, ideally. If I've got that set up right. Yeah, there you go. Recommended. So there's your grips, right? And you can see they have this little bit here to extend to the inside of the bar in here. Right, I might have a oh, I do have one here. I'm not going to go waste my time and find it because it's going to be in a bag. But let me show you the inside of that. Let's grab another one from stock. I'll just show you here and put it back. Right, see a little pack of, see that there? Just going to slide in. Right, exactly the same as what the photo shows on the website. So you don't even need to open the box, mate. That's what it's all about. I call it a double lock. Locks on the inside of the bar and also on the outside. So you've got an internal lock here with the screw through here, which if you want to hack, you can actually make it longer. This bar probably ends about here. And then you obviously, because they're double, they're screwed in here as well. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're not here for that stuff. We're here for the phone holders taking up real estate too on there. So there's, you know, very little room. We can hardly hit the buttons on this thing. This one's not too bad because I've moved it sort of out of the way with that bracket. Okay, a nice bracket because they move it forward or back, the phone. Whereas this bracket's really close, high density. Hence why I've had to go and resort to putting other bars on. As I mentioned about the 22mm versus the wider at the pillow, you know, wider diameter, these bars don't hold very well. You need to put a lot of padding in. They're just not designed for that diameter, even though they'll specify that they will. Well, it's there. It's not secure, right? And no amount of extra rubber or dampening or taping or zippy ties or whatever. At the moment, the only reason why it still sits there is because it sits on the zoom brake lever. Just near. That stops it from moving. So, the bracket though on this phone holder, see how it's actually a bar? That actually mounts onto this bracket. See this bracket here that's on the mini bar? This bracket's holding this battery. It's a battery mount bracket. Alright, so I want a battery securely mounted to a bar that's attached to the main handlebar. And obviously the Achilles heel is this this movement that you see and observe there. So if you're driving along, you're riding along, you vibrate, you hit that, and you know, you'll see that. So that's what that is. Tend not to have any issues with the stonker because with all the different brackets. You'll go straight onto the bar, whatever, and they're solid. In fact, if you need to adjust the brightness on the light, for example, you can hold on to that while you're riding the scooter. It is as strong as a handlebar grip because the bracket is just so mechanically sound that it's same with the motorbike mount on these phone holders. You can hold on to your phone, and it's actually really good. So it's good to have all your stuff secured and anchored well wherever possible, not just, you know, like I've got this here. So yeah, still yet to find a solution for that, but I just put up with it. Just a rubber band around, and if I'm going into the office in the city, the U-lock's there. No issue. That's it. So your Warrior bars, they're good, and I've normally got them in stock all the time, best price in Australia, because they come in wholesale from the Carbo factory in big numbers. So we'll just leave that there, and we'll put this stem away, because I think I've shown you the brackets, haven't I, on that? So that's probably a good fit for that. See how that goes on there and there? Alright, and you can line up and put your bolt through. Perfect. And that's going to present a mounting point. Quite strong. Different mounting points. This has got, you know, 4 or 5 different holes. Some have different size threads. Some have an option of multiple different types of threads. M5, M6, etc. depending on what you need. And then you can obviously get to one side a certain way and another's another way. Okay, and it's recessed inside there, but not on that side. So if you needed to put a bolt in, you have it in the recess, it comes out this side, and then this then just gives you some extra mounts on the other side. Of course, your bolts that go through can only be accessed from one side, so when you do it, you just got to think about, okay, if I need to make an adjustment to this particular bolt here, so this is doing this, there's a stage light hanging on there with a buck converter off the USB charging port. I'll just turn it off, get that out of there. So just get power from, it's temporary. This here, right, so that's just wide enough to not foul on the side of the stem where the strip lights are. And of course, a bit hard to get to that. I'm getting an Allen key in there to that one. So that's not too bad. But yeah, if you wanted to get to these bolts, well, you can't. Like, it's not really possible. I'll just show you if you, so you're chasing an Allen key and you're trying to get the Allen key in behind that one. That's easy, no problem. See, it's in there. But yeah, this one here, this box going through here, yeah, it's a bit of a design flaw there, so you can't really adjust it. And it's out like a couple of degrees, which doesn't worry me too much, but that's solid anyway. So yeah, I'm surprised that light's been going for 6 months on that scooter and it hasn't failed with vibrations and everything. So that's a bit of an idea how well some of the appropriate fit for purpose brackets compare to some of these kitty bars. You know, this kitty bar is alright because I've actually got it mounted to the middle where the handlebar is wider, the diameter, the pillow, here's a pillow, the 2 in the middle, right? Whereas ordinarily you'd think you put your brackets on the end for the most stability, like I have here. Not the case. The bar's too narrow at the ends. Need to put them in wherever the diameter is appropriate. So yeah, so there's a little opportunity I think to mount them on there. If you're coming in here, but in this instance with this bar it's 22.8 mil all the way through. Oh, the other brackets too, see that's a narrower one, so you'd put that on if you had to go this way as opposed to that way. That's a bit narrower again. That's actually a really good fit for a 22 mil mount on there. It's just the right size. It's a bit thinner, it's a bit thicker. The thinner one's just cheaper, easier to get. It's easier on AliExpress. These ones here are quite hard to find, they're thick. That's your two hooked up together there, see? So I've managed to be able to put a bar on there, mount it on that bar, and then have it go this way. So that's probably more of a stonker design, where that torch is going to sit in there in that bracket and face forward off there, because obviously it's you need 2 brackets if you're on the perpendicular. You can't just get 1 bracket. There's another one. Right. On your 28mm section. That's probably actually for a stem. That's probably for one of these actually, because let's see, let me go that way. So it'd be for that. Just longer bolts of course. And then that, it depends if you're facing which angle it is too, right? Of course, one's wide and one's on the other, so in which case one wouldn't work. That wouldn't work if it was that way. Again, torch in there, right? Done, solid. So that's your mounts. The other option too, which, and I don't think I've got these on the store yet. I've had them here for ages. If I do an install, like a workshop install, then if I need one, I'll use one. I'll just call them a. So we had the kiddie bar, the mini bar, right? The brackets are limited. The extending bar, extenders to extend them. The replacement bars. All right, there you go. It's a lengthen bar from the Warrior. These ones here, good option. If I can hold this phone down here, I'll show you. I'll just put it up here. Let's see from up here. There you go. All right. How's that? There's a bar, right, which can be set to whatever length you may desire between here and there, and that's good for 21mm. See, perfect. So that can go on. So it's not long enough. It's too short to go right on the end. It's too long to go in the middle. You can't mount that on there because it fouls the crossbar. So it'll come out a bit further. So you need to extend it. So you need to basically get 2 of these. One, put another pin in 2, or a bit of aluminium extrusion, whatever you've got. I'll just get 2 of these. It's easy, just get 2 of those and join them together. And that's going to give me a double bar, I think. In theory. That. And out there. And out there. And go across. So now I've got 2 solid bars to mount everything on. And it's a bit of a job, right? That's why I haven't done it yet, but that's because then you got to go and rewire everything and move your brakes and all that sort of stuff. So it's a big job. Extra bars. Again, you get them in different colours. I don't know what they call them, a bit hard to find. There's no English on the box, whatever. But that's the go, and they're probably about $30 because they're pretty well engineered. It's bolts. So we talked about bolts, right? You know, we're talking about bolts. And of course, remember we've got the Boeing 737-900s over in Alaska with the doors, the falls off, which they've noticed for a while it's been losing cabin pressure. Well, apparently the bolts aren't sufficient, come loose, whatever, right? They loosened. So, and of course, you can't just put more bolts on here, but what you can do is use some Loctite. Problem with Loctite is once it's in, it's set, and if you need to change it, you've got to pull it all out and reset it, put more Loctite in, screw it back in. Which, remember, as we talked about, a bit hard to do with some of these socket heads, depending where they end up, the button heads on screws. Can't get to them, so you can't tighten them up. So you only really get one crack at it, and you can put Loctite on, of course, and hope you get it right. But typically, when you fix this sort of stuff, you want to tweak and change it, and just get things, you know, moved across around a bit, and just get it right. Then you're ready to Loctite it. So with the wedge washers, they are a very good design. They're effectively 2 washers, side by side, and they've got little grooves in them so they don't slip. So if you put that on here and then tighten it up, as it compresses, it won't let the bolt move. They're great for up the stem, so at the bottom of your headset joins in, the bottom, like that, underneath, that bolt, that big M8, M10, M12, whatever your scooter is. Up the middle. Helps stop that coming loose, right? The big one. But anywhere else it's quite a similar thing. So they're a wedge washer. This is a Chinese knockoff of the original. The originals are the patented trademark name. So the washers are actually originally manufactured by Nordlock, Nordlock. They are in stainless steel or a non-stainless. The non-stainless has a dacrymat treated, which prevents them from rusting. It's like a zinc flake application, but they actually hold up really well. I wouldn't get the stainless. Stainless is a bit too soft, unless you need something soft. But typically these high tensile ruggedized, particularly for the bolt that goes up there to stop that thing coming loose, is perfect. You can also put some Loctite on as well if you need to. Alright, if you need your Loctite, yeah, sure. The blue, don't go red unless it's really needing the heavy stuff. Yeah, you can be liberal with the blue. So that should keep all that together. I think that's everything I had on the list of things just to put in this one, is with regards to mounts, kiddie bars, what to do. This stage light here that's factored in with the buck converter actually goes from 72 volt through the charge port temporarily to a yellow XT30 up the stem, and that's of course 72 volt. So it runs into this buck converter here, little one, alright, which drops it down to 12 volts, and because the light is natively 240 volt, it's got an internal 240 24 volt transformer inside. It needs 24 volts. So because you can't go from 72 to 24, you've gone 72 to 12, and then 12, step it up to 24 volts. Here, that one there, that big heat sink, which is probably overkill. I could have just put a smaller PVC enclosed one on, take a bit of weight out, because there's only 10 amp, 120 watts. This thing's like 160 watt, it's overkill. Native 160 watt LED nameplate spec, but they only pull about 40 watts, if that. Just like any other torch that says, oh, this is like a 20 watt or 70,000 lumens. Rubbish. So that's all that is, and that's a, I don't know what type bracket that is, but that's obviously about a 40-50 mil on the stem. And then one of the brackets come with these little L brackets, 90-degree brackets, so I've just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 daisy chain them up to get the width to this one, that bracket, and then I've screwed that on there. Got some Bakelite heads to put on there. Bakelites are these ones, you know what I mean? Nice little knob you can, so that's an option. Anyway, that's enough. Well, otherwise we'll just keep going with regards to brackets. I'll clean all this stuff up. Thanks for watching. It's Brendan with eScootNow. Check this.